I'm Theron Ramacharaka. I recently had the pleasant opportunity to have an email exchange with a viewer. I want to relate to you here the nature of that exchange involving creative thinking in the context of subconscious programming. The comment to which I replied via email was, I have a method of programming the subconscious mind that I developed. I actually figured this out entirely on my own. To which I replied, I like that you have created some of your own methods. Actual humans have immense creative power, and the building blocks of creative thinking constitute one of my primary areas of interest. And I emphasize the word actual in actual humans, because I believe that not all critters that appear to be humans are actual or full-blown humans. Whatever actual or full-blown humans actually are genetically in the first place. Regardless, the development of and prudent applications of creative thinking are essential components of any worthwhile true self-mastery program. I like these building blocks sort of things. Many people go for techniques that require greater levels of rudimentary self-control than they actually have. This might account for some of the dangers that we can encounter along such paths. I once sought to improve my creative mental faculty. Now, this was pre-internet popularity. I went to a library and to bookstores and searched for relevant information. But all that I found was a lot of material about creative thinking's merits and about historical creative thinkers. Thick books advocating creative thinking, yes, but little to no practical instruction. Finally, I came upon Gerard Nirenberg's Art of Creative Thinking. It lays out the pillars of creative thinking and provides instruction on their development and use. Most people engage in creative endeavors to an extent daily. For again, our species possesses the creative endowment. But with respect to most people, that creative faculty, while touted as meritable, develops only minimally. This minimal development is so common that it is taken to be the norm. Most people who are creative, qualitatively and quantitatively, according to the common standard, still are only minimally so. As a youth, I had maintained a somewhat higher level of innate creativity than had most of my associates. The education system did not kill it out in me as much as it had done to others. But it was not until I found that book that I even knew the structural components of creative thinking. And as with all such affairs, no matter what our level of creative thinking actually is, if we do not know what it is made of, and if we have not worked intentionally to increase those components of, say, creative thinking, to increase their efficient operation, then we have not moved them very far toward their maximal performance pole of cooperative functioning. And if we have not intentionally moved toward that latter, then we miss out on all the practical fruits thereof in affairs to which creative thinking serves as a contributing cause. But while I believe that creativity serves us beneficially in many ways, when it comes to matters pertaining to our personal involvement, I also believe that it can get us into some trouble with respect to some of its objects of application. There exists good reason for the traditional master-student relationship and for the keeping of certain procedures secret. Certain procedures can involve danger. Some further danger exists if they are gone about carelessly. And further danger can enter if we get creative with them. But then, it appears to be the case that either a certain level of risk is inherent to the results of creativity, or we sometimes are ignorant of the risks inherent to the waters in which our creativity treads. I think that it is prudent to exercise restraint until we feel confident with our knowledge of a subject, enough knowledge of how something works and of its attending phenomena to creatively proceed wisely. Like I tell my 28-year-old girlfriend who grew up in an unusually socially restricted environment with respect to everyday life skills. When she enters into daily activities that are in large new to her, I say, here's how I do it. Do it my way until you're sure that you have enough experience with it to safely create your own method. Finally here, when it comes to programming one's own subconscious mind, if gone about with just some knowledge of the rules by which it is done, creativity with the doing of it, in my opinion, involves much less risk than it does constructive consequence. In my opinion, the greatest risk lies in the content of that programming rather than in the method used to achieve it, as long as its fundamental causal rules are applied to achieve any result at all. For example, you might program your subconscious mind to manifest in your conscious life an increased level of creative thinking. To achieve the best result, it might be best to go about it creatively, talking to your subconscious mind in the way that you would talk to a close friend, whatever that means to you. And to otherwise apply the means by which your subconscious mind will actually get programmed. And to be specific about the sorts of material with which you want it to aid you in said manner. And then restrain yourself from getting creative and telling your subconscious mind how to do its job, which it already knows quite well. I'm Theron Ramacharaka. Be well.